Other than that, you can check me out on Twitter at JFFeeney3RD and at the CC Network 1, or check out the Pro Wrestling Tees store for myself and Creative Control at ProWrestlingTees.com/.
Wait, nobody was on the Mike Durband or Hughezy show?
Those guys are doing like a show a month now. They've really reduced their output. I know Get My Go eats up Durband's time. I think Hughezy, he gets like the holiday blues or something. He's always a bummer around this time of year, so I don't know what that's about.
Mike, what's going on with this Get My Go lately?
Are you sure you want to mention that?
Is this guy still doing his show?
They are putting out shows, yes.
Oh, so they're still doing the show.
Yeah, it's very random though. It's not like they're not on a set schedule like they used to be.
Does he still make fun of my show?
Dude, you want to know something? You know what I found today? Thanks to, who was it? Chris Karam. I got to shout him out. He let me know that there is a location that you can still find all the shows that they thought they deleted. There's an episode I knew about. I remember listening to it like 2 years ago, and it had both of the gentlemen on there. And dude, they are just ripping you to shreds.
But Russo, he loves your money. He loves to make it seem like you're his best friend. As long as you're sending him those records, like as long as you're paying his mortgage, and like as long as you're, what are those things called on Twitch?
Oh, bits.
Bits.
Jeff
can't handle constructive criticism, and then he goes on to be a bitch about it. He got what he got, man. You know, he got what he deserved.
Well, like the sad part about it is that if he removed his head from Vince's rectum, he wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, why did they delete all the shows though?
I guess they got sick of us, exposing them.
Yeah.
So they thought they deleted this one feed, but we found them all. So we have everything. But there's one in particular, one episode, I remember it. They go at you like you would never believe, man. I want you to come on.
Like what?
You gotta hear it. You gotta hear. I want you to come on our show.
Ocho, can I tell you something?
You know what? That would be like a great Halloween outfit next year for me. I'm gonna take the kids out and dress like Super Callow.
You just got to find somebody to make you a Super Callow mask. I bet you could find one on the internet.
Yeah, which I could probably literally contact Conan, and he could probably hook me up with somebody. I kid you not.
There you go. Hook it up. Yeah, KOGG.
Cog.
What the hell?
What in the world?
Yeah. Someone should email the show as Chris Martin and ask Conan if he could procure them a Super Callow. Apparently, Martin just thinks Conan just sits around and stitches them up and sells them. What the hell's the stupidest thing I've ever heard?
Hey, this is from Christopher Martin, and the subject is Super Callow Mask. Hey there, Disco and Kogan. Sit down, sit up. It spells like cake. Okay, I'm going to read the whole thing.
All right, if you can't spell my name, then we may not be reading this shit.
Hey there, Disco and Kogan. Sit down, sit up. What you're doing, Buttercup?
What?
K-O-G-C. I know that you're K-O-G-G. He puts in capital letters.
Okay, I'm not going to answer this.
I know that you were.
My name.
I'm going to read it anyway.
Right.
I know that you were probably literally best friends with Super Callow back in the days of WCW. I was thinking of being Super Callow for Halloween next year. That being said, would you be able to hook me up to get a Super Callow mask? I hope and pray that both of you have a great Christmas, and please remember that Jesus is the reason for the season. We are here not only to transpire, but to inspire. Brother Martin.
What's this guy's name?
Christopher Martin.
He's the guy that works with John Wangland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
what is a scam?
Well, what you should do, because you sound like a fucking jabron, is you should wear an evil Uno mask and go out like that for fucking Halloween next year.
Oh, this is what Joe did. So
you're gonna butcher my name. Your letters will not be read. You're a mark. Go ahead.
The one guy's complaining that you're a scam and that you cry poor and you're begging for money. He actually used the words that you're begging for money. Then at the end of that episode, there's a pre-recorded clip of the guy begging for money for himself.
Brothers and sisters, I'm one of those people that are falling right now, meaning I have a medical condition called spinal stenosis and degenerative disc disease, which means that I have 3 ruptured discs. That's right. So what I'm asking for you to do is please help me by donating to my surgery fund.
And you know what that was for? But it's like, dude, they have no self-awareness. Like, they can't even realize the hypocrisy. They're calling you beggar and scam artist, and then minutes later, they're doing the same thing.
And then they say, but we don't want your money. It's like they're sitting in a room talking to each other. They happen to hit record, but they forgot they did hit record.
Yeah, it is preposterous. It's the very definition of preposterous.
Mike's, everyone puts over Mike's editing and production, and I think
he's amazing.
Like it is so amazing, but like the key thing is his creativity.
Yes.
It's the most important factor to this. The way he goes, yes, if I put this picture here during this soundbite, or a fade in this picture at this time, or and then the Get My Ghost song, which we could probably talk about that a bit later in more depth, but the Get My Ghost song is just so brilliant and creative. Mike Durband, just I can't put him over enough of just how such a good job he's done in just evolving this show, and to go back and watch them all the way through, go back through all the episodes and watch the production value grow and get better and better. Hats off, Durband. You are a genius, man.
And I want to formally invite you on Get My Go as our honored guest.
Thanks, Mike. It's about time you invited me on.
If I
you don't have to comment. You can sit there muted.
Isn't it just going to stir these guys up all over again, bro?
Who cares? Who cares? Listen, you don't even have to comment on it. I just want to see your face. You can let your face be the reaction. You have to hear the shit that these guys say about you.
Let's have some fun. Let's talk about some good old-fashioned wrestling.
And joining us is the newest member of the Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops team. He's doing a great segment every week called the Pro Wrestling Rundown. We got Cory F'n Ryan with us tonight. What is up, Mr. Ryan? Welcome to Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops, and welcome to the team, buddy. It's good to have you a part of everything. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Happy to be a part of the team. As one of my favorites used to say, let's burn it down.
Yeah, and hey, you know what? If you think you get my go to that, man, he gets my go, this kid, man. He gets my go.
Okay, so we're recording this on December 27th. Just a few days ago, I caught up with an old friend who was showing me what he got his son for Christmas. He got him a lot of wrestling stuff. His favorite is Big E. He loves Drew McIntyre, loves AJ Styles. He bought him a ton of action figures, costumes, posters, all this stuff to put it up around his bedroom because he's 7 years old. And that's acceptable to have all that stuff in your room bought for you by a parent who, by the way, the kid doesn't even know that The Rock used to be a wrestler. That's how young and fresh he is, which is acceptable because he's a fucking child.
Pretty crazy, yeah.
Then today, Cory Ryan has entered the chat. And what a fucking cunt. This guy should be put on the pro-abortion posters to say, sometimes it really pays off. This fucking guy looks like he's in a Halloween costume of a nerdy Mark who deserves to catch COVID. This guy stinks. He's fucking out of shape. And I just want to say, just because your arms are big does not mean they're muscular arms. Fucking, you know what I mean? If you look more like Nia Jax than Batista, you're not a muscular in shape man.
Yeah, like when you're doing the crossed arms and you're trying to push up the bicep. That's not a muscle. That's a fatzel.
Yeah, your biceps aren't supposed to fold in the middle.
Yeah.
So today we have turned our eye to this new member of the cheap fucking logos and hot arm takes or whatever the fuck the name of the company is. But of course, there's more than one person here. We've got what's the name? Mike Feeney. What's your name?
I'm a little late, but I'm here.
Of course, the director, the creator, Mike Durband is here, and New Zealand's own Australian guy. We'll get a Dean, whose surname I can't remember, and I'm in the mood for going pretty hard. I don't fucking like this guy.
Good, because we're shifting our sights. We're shifting the target to just a little bit. We're pivoting a little bit. It's still a Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops member. It's the newest guy. It's a guy. I think his origin story is that he was probably a yeah, because John, John. Who knows where John finds him? But we do know where he finds him because it seems like he gets all his co-hosts from the same place. John picks from the shallow pool of Vampiro's Rituals Patreon members. It was Cory Ryan, it was Sonny Salem, and Richie Reardon. Yeah. So those three people. There might have been one more person. We don't know.
I think there was two more. I think there's two left. But Richie Reardon on a podcast admitting to paying $50 for that Vampiro Patreon when he signed up.
In this day and age, to spend money on a wrestling Patreon, it's fucking insane. Like,
hey,
we may be coming to the end of the world, and people are like, yeah, but Vampiro on Patreon talks about the ice cream that he likes. Like, nobody fuck off, you bunch of fucking cunts. I hate this guy. I genuinely wish harm to him.
Yeah, I'd like to say that there's always room at the K100 Patreon for what's his name, Cory Ryan and Richie Reardon and the other lady. They can always join the Keeping It 100 Patreon.
Conan.me.
Right, let's get this guy's go.
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick that I'm doing this in protest because I know that Mike has much better material waiting for us, and this Cory Ryan's fucking as dull as dishwater.
Yeah.
So this is being done in protest on my end. But do you, speaking of origin stories, do you have his origin story with John off of Reflections or whatever the fuck it was called?
Cory Ryan was also on Road to Redemption with John Wangland.
Are we doing that today or no?
No, we're not doing that. Dean, have you ever listened to that episode?
Yeah, that's the one that we episode 28, I think it was, where he said, "Oh, I didn't become a wrestler." That was from the Road to Redemption. Where he just bitches and complains about being a fat loser, and everyone calling him a fat loser. That's pretty much the gist of it.
I love the fact that he was. It's everyone else's fault because no one thought I could do it.
Yeah,
so I didn't do it.
Yeah,
I tried to listen to that Road to Redemption. I tried clipping it. I had to turn it off after 20 minutes. It's so, what was me? I'm the victim. It's so bad.
And that's just the intro.
Yeah, it's terrible.
What are they going to motivate anyone to do apart from fucking mental health?
Yeah, I mean, what is the motivation between someone saying this was my dream and I didn't do it? End of show.
Yeah. By the way, that's a hangover cough, not a COVID cough. I hope so. My fucking lungs are sore though, and I can't smell anything, and I've lost all sense of taste. But this backs up my theory that guidance counselors and fucking what do you call them, motivators? What's the name?
Motivational speakers.
Yeah, they're for lunatics. Who the fuck needs somebody else to tell them how to do better in life? It's like when people hire personal trainers at the gym, spoiler alert, they're going to say eat healthier and work out more. I've just saved you $100 fucking a month.
Yeah.
This may be the first. Sorry, Dean. This may be the first Get My Go that is indeed sponsored. So if you go to BlueChew.com and use the code Get My Go, you could be a bigger dick than Cory Ryan.
Yeah, you can jerk your dick off while listening to Sonny Salem talk about Impact.
Dean, what were you going to say?
I was just saying, I've listened to a few of John's Monday motivations, and to your point, it's just you got to find a goal there, man, and then you got to work to that goal, man. And it's just the same shit over and over, and he's not telling you anything other than cliches and bullshit, and he fucks up half the cliches anyway.
You got to touch a star and reach for the clouds, and you got to keep your foot on the earth while you reach the ground.
Every dog has a silver lining.
So let's say 2 months ago, Dean, John started to give Cory Ryan his own segment on the Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops shows. I think he's only done 3 of them so far. The first one was, I can't believe this is a segment, but it was his meeting with Shawn Michaels at a convention. Now, I've met probably 50 wrestlers at conventions. Like, I would never think to do any kind of segment on it. Everybody has the same story. You wait in your line, You meet the guy. It's quick. He signs the autograph. You take the picture with him, and you move on. And that's pretty much what this story is. Before we get to Cory Ryan's, I have to tell everybody the story of why I decided to shift our sights to Cory Ryan.
Because he's an arsehole.
That's the main reason. But the number two reason is that about a month ago, some of you may have seen Cory Ryan and his best friend Eli attacking Vampiro. Or no, they did it on a show.
We got Cory F'n Ryan. Mr. Ryan, I see you're drinking a little of the good stuff tonight. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, man. And by the way, about Vampiro, fuck you, Vampiro.
Hey, whoa, bam. Damn, there he is. Coming right up.
You're a selfish prick who doesn't give a shit about your fans, so fuck you.
I don't disagree with what you're saying here. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think Sunny is too, because she knows Vamp too, so she knows him from the same area. So
I clipped it, of course, tagged Vampiro in it. He saw it, and there was a back and forth between John, Vampiro, Eli, and Cory. Very entertaining. And then I tweeted a couple pictures to Vampiro. I said, this is the guy Cory Ryan that's saying those things about you. I didn't think anything of it. And then about a month later, on Facebook, when you get a message from somebody, Facebook Messenger, you get a message from somebody that you're not friends with.
Yeah.
You don't get an alert. It goes in like the message request folder. Yeah. And I rarely check that, but for some reason I checked it, and I had a message from November 27th. I'm going to show it to you now.
This is classic. See, yeah, Chris and John are like humorously pathetic and we can laugh at them, but this is like a tragedy. Like, this is tragic comedy that we're doing today.
Yeah, so Cory screenshot my tweet that said, what a badass, and it had the pictures. There's 4 pictures of Cory Ryan, and then Cory wrote to me, oh, you done fucked up, bitch, comma, I'll see you in court. I'm not very smart when it comes to legal stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's not illegal to tweet out pictures of someone that they themselves posted on their own social media. I don't think that's illegal.
See, but this is with these guys is they don't like to be reminded that they're embarrassing themselves. So as soon as they hear somebody else play their content or show their photographs, they get offended because it makes them realize, oh shit, a 41-year-old man holding the WWF title belt toy beside my Jeff Hardy dolls. Wait, it's not as cool as I thought. I'm not fucking Sean Connery.
Is that how you do the AJ Styles gloves or something like that?
I mean, every picture this guy posts, it's a picture of him wearing a wrestler shirt, and then he's doing their signature movement or face or whatever. And I mean, there's probably 100 pictures that I've seen that we've all seen of this guy, man.
I'll tell you what's a cool photograph. Sean Connery smoking in the casino in Dr. No, the first James Bond. He is so fucking cool that even the KKK wants to fucking suck his dick, okay? Now, when you're editing this, put up that photograph of Sean Connery next to fucking Cory Ryan doing his AJ Styles thing, and let's see which one's cool.
I would agree with your Sean Connery one, and I would raise you De Niro at the bar at Goodfellas when he's smoking and he turns because he's going to kill Maury. That's pretty sweet, too. Sunshine of Your Love. But I want
Maury's wigs. Give him a plug.
Maury's wigs. They don't even come off even in water.
Don't buy wigs that come off at the wrong time. Maury's wigs don't come off, even underwater.
What is that thing behind Mike A? Is that his? Does he have a logo?
He does have a logo, and I think he may have designed something for John or Martin at one point.
That's the fucking Heart Foundation, by the way. That's not Cory Ryan's logo. That's like the Heart Foundation.
He has a Get My logo.
Hey,
all right, let's get into this. Here is oh my god, I think it popped up in the middle of the episode, Dean.
I think so. Yeah,
John just put it. Well, I think John gives him an intro. Actually, John.
Yeah, he throws to it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the main heat with any of us that towards this particular group of people, when it's not personal, because I think most of us just don't like them personally either, but it's just the fact that you make podcasting and podcasters look terrible. And Dean, I don't know if you ever want to have an idea you want to bring to fruition, but at least you know when you're listening to something good, you know when you're listening to something bad. Mike had a show had a show past, I don't know, but he tried to do a serious thing. He had, like a little whack pack on or whatever. Hughezy's had tremendous guests. I'm on Conan's show mostly now or whatever. And, we don't want to see this shit reduced into a joke, because actually it can make you money. It can do a lot of things, for you or whatever, and bring attention to you and help you sell other merch, all this. So when guys like this do it and they really like piss all over it, it makes it sound like amateur hour. And to me, having Cory Ryan on is even reducing John's shit to even lower than it was.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's weird to me, that just, hey, random guy, tell me about your time you met Shawn Michaels. Why would he hear that and put that on the show?
It's also the thing that, like, it's the bragging for me. That's, you guys never brag about what you're doing. You might make a comment here and there about how well things are going, but like, it's the way that John constantly says how great he is and how well things are going. And it's like, well, no, I've listened to this shit and you deserve to be ridiculed for this, because it's embarrassing. It really is.
Well, Chris, let's get on to our top 5 list. But before we do that, let's debut a new segment here. We are wanting to welcome Cory Ryan to the show. Cory's going to be doing a segment each week on our Pro Wrestling Week in Review. It's going to be Cory Ryan's for Pro Wrestling Rundown.
Every time we do this, I forget how much his voice literally hurts to hear. Like, he has the worst speaking, but he could come in there and say, "Hey there, man, I just want to let you know that your cancer's cured." And you go, "I don't care."
Get out.
Yeah, boring. But it's like, I was thinking about this the other day. Do you remember when Sister Christian said, "We are breaking record numbers"? I think that's what Wangland does. I think he gets a little bored and he starts living in fantasy world when he goes, and he says, "Hey, I'll tweet Christopher Martin. He's a good friend of mine, and he'll want to hear this." You go, "Just to let you know, you just broke all the records there, man. The biggest podcast in the world." So then, just to kill time, because he has no fucking social life, he apparently has no fucking job. So this is what he'll do. He likes to lie as a hobby. And then these dumb rejects all fucking believe it, and he's conned people like Martin and fucking Cory Ryan into thinking that he is some type of a star, and this is why they come to suckle on his wrestling podcast teat.
The great guy, and it's going to be fun to hear his different perspectives on things, Chris, and his different outlooks about wrestling. He's a huge wrestling fan, and he's going to tell you why he's a huge wrestling fan. He's going to tell you what wrestling means to him a little bit in this clip here. Chris, he's going to talk about his experience meeting his hero in wrestling, and somebody that just meant something to him, and why it was so important to him. And that was meeting Shawn Michaels. And Cory is a huge Shawn Michaels fan, as I know, as he's been a friend of mine for a good while now. And Cory's going to be sharing a bunch of different stuff on here, but he wanted to kind of introduce himself on this and tell you a little bit about his experience meeting Shawn Michaels. And this is why I love bringing people onto the show and doing different things, because you get to hear why wrestling and that experience was important to him. It's really cool segment. So welcome, Cory, to the show, the Pro Wrestling Rundown that Cory's going to be doing each week. It's going to be fun. He's going to be talking about different things like his experiences meeting people like he did this week, and his opinions on the business. Just
so who's going to be on, and what are they talking about? Because I don't know yet. Just get to it.
I think it's a shame that the intro isn't longer. But this is what I'm saying. Wangland makes the intros so long that they're longer than the actual appearance. We're going to speak to this really cool guy. He's got a mohawk like from Mad Max, even though he's gone bald, and he's fat, and he sits alone at home smelling his toys to see which one he can still play with tonight in the bed. But this is horrible. This is so bad. And listening back to this, how can Cory Ryan with his fat arms and his fucking pouting lip? That's another thing. What's up with the photographs where he pouts? It's like you couldn't be the best looking guy in the world, but you're still wearing a fucking Hardy Boys necklace.
Sadly, this intro I think is better though than what's to come, which is
it's bad.
Really daunting thought.
Yeah, if you guys think John is a bad podcaster or speaker or whatever, dude, this guy is 10 times worse. He's awful.
Welcome, Cory, to the show. And with that said, check out Cory Ryan's Pro Wrestling Rundown right now. We'll be right back after after Cory's segment right here. We'll be right back after it. Enjoy.
Do you guys think he's going to be right back after the segment?
Yeah.
Has that been made clear yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, why is he plugging it on the edited podcast that's downloaded? It's not a radio show. We go, hey, if you're just tuning in, you're catching us on FM. We're all sucking each other's dicks and catching AIDS. He doesn't understand what he's doing. Once something is downloaded, you don't have to plug it. It's in the fucking description.
He also says on shows as he's introing the show, we're recording this on Friday. This should be out by Tuesday.
And there's a lot of topics to talk about. So if you're into the football side of it, come back, check out Friday's show. Friday, Saturday morning, or Saturday afternoon, latest it comes out. You'll have it before Sunday NFL. I know there's a game on Thursdays, but it's with our schedules, we can usually only get up and tape it on late Thursday nights or Friday nights. So you'll have it out by Saturday afternoon, definitely by kickoff time. And we apologize for not getting it out this last week, but we'll make up for it this week.
Didn't it? What's the point of telling me that when I'm fucking listening to it, you idiot?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, before we get into that, something that John has done many times and Martin has done many times. Now this guy's going to do the same fucking thing. They love to start out their segments or their shows with the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Like, I don't know why that's the go-to for intros, but all three of them now have done this.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Yeah, and before you press play, listen out for his dumb fucking Bruce Springsteen voice.
No, he sounds like Medicated Pete from the Howard Stern show.
Yeah, he's like, hey, everybody, thanks for checking out the Cory Ryan show. First got into wrestling because there was 57 channels and there was nothing on. I love wrestling from the glory days, but I'm now on fire talking about this shit. I was born to run a wrestling podcast, but it's time to get ready, you know.
That's the best shit you've ever done.
I hit him.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Cheap Pete and Cheap Pops proudly brings to you its brand new segment, The Wrestling Rundown with Cory Ryan. I am Cory Ryan, aka Cory F'n Ryan, the one and only. So
what a fucking name, dude.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, right, he thinks he sounds cool, but all he does is sound cold. It's Cory Ryan. It's fucking freezing here. I'm in my tank top showing off my fat guns. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that Wangland, who's straight, by the way, I think that he tells them, see, what you want to do there, man, is that you're starting off your shitcast. You need to have a catchphrase to help you get over with all the fans. That's why Sexy Sunny Salem says, let's crank it.
Are you guys ready to do this? Let's do this.
By the way, Sunny Salem has a fucking manlier voice than John Wangland.
Right, can you just go back? Can you go back and just confirm if it's Cory Ryan's segment or not?
Well,
and AKA Cory F'n Ryan, or who is it?
The one and
absolute show, the one and only. Yeah.
I think I'd love to see, like, we've seen some videos that, you know, we've gotten of John talking shit or whatever. But what I'd really like to see, I think, is exactly what Hughezy just said. If he sent any emails to like Dean or Rob, like coaching them on how to be better and shit like that. Oh, that would be the greatest. You know, you need to intro your show stronger. You know, what are you? Fucking Rad Rob, you need to be Rad fucking Rob.
Yeah, WNBC.
I'd like to get into on my very first segment on Cheap Pete and Cheap Pops. I want to go back to 2013 when I had a personal experience meeting my all-time favorite professional wrestler of all time, the one and only, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Now, I'm going to give everybody a little bit of the backstory on this first, because this is where it becomes cool. My dad had taken me to my very first wrestling event back in 1992. Somehow, there's someone that came up to us in the crowd that had, you know, worked backstage or something and offered us to come back there and meet the wrestlers and all that. You know, me being stupid and not knowing better that pro wrestling was choreographed and scripted and all that stuff.
I turned it down because I was afraid of the wrestlers. I thought, it was all real and they're really that mean, in real life. And
at what point does he start speaking? Because all I can hear is the music.
He does sound like he's going to get emotional.
He sounds terrified.
Yeah, it really does sound like one of fucking Springsteen's stage banter things. He's like, we're going to come together and we're going to get our New Day shirts and we're going to have a great time. And this one's called 10th Avenue Freeze Out. I used to walk the streets of Philadelphia in my ECW merch.
So I turned that down, and the main event happened to be Bret Hart defending the Intercontinental Championship against Shawn Michaels. So I kicked myself for years and years and years on this because, I was like, only if I would have done that back then, I could have met one of my favorites of all time. But here's the cool part, though. We fast forward like 20-some years later, and Shawn Michaels, he's retired, and get to 2013, and I get a text message one day from one of my best friends, Eli. Shout out there, brother. Love you, man.
Dude, this guy Eli and Cory, they have some weird relationship, man. If you look at the pictures, it's every picture's hashtagged brothers or love you, man, or brothers forever. They constantly are telling each other they love each other. I don't know.
I've just thought about what we can call Cory Ryan's band. The WWE Street Band.
Me, Shawn is coming to Houston at the convention center, and he's going to be doing autographs and all that. He goes, you need to go. You got to go. Well, I was like, will you go with me? He said, absolutely. So I kept thinking like the whole time, like a week before it was, going to happen. I'm like, I'm thinking like almost the worst, like something's going to go down, something's going to happen, it's going to be ruined. But actually everything went totally fine. And that morning, we get in the car, we head up to the convention center, get in and all that, and we're waiting and waiting,
Did he just turn a page? Has he got notes for this fucking train wreck?
We get.
I'll bet he does, yeah.
I went down to see Shawn Michaels on the downbound train.
I mean, the story's not that elaborate where, it's, I don't know, man.
I'm kind of let down. He hasn't let us know yet where he stopped to get lunch.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's not telling us a story. He's describing an event. He's the kind of guy who'd be like, I got the Lord of the Rings books. It's like, oh, what are they like? It's like, well, they're about this size, and there's a lot of pages in them, and you turn them, and there's words. It's like, no, but what's the story fucking line? That's what this guy is. He's not telling a story.
He's obviously got, and I'm not casting any aspersions here because I know people like that, some social anxiety because he wouldn't go by them. The only part of his story I've picked up so far is that he would not go alone. So
yeah,
for Shawn to show up, all of a sudden here he comes walking behind us, and Eli says to me, there's the man. I looked and I'm like, where? He's like, right there. And I said, oh my God. Like I flipped out. Like I was
I bet you he pointed.
There's the
He's
man.
right over there. We're working on the highway.
I fanboyed out so much. And so Shawn and a lot of people, they said Shawn back in the day he wasn't a good person. He was a prick and all that, which I'm sure he was, because it showed on TV back in the day. And he goes over to this little corner where a lot of the special needs people were, in wheelchairs and everything, and he signs their autographs first, takes pictures.
I think Cory Ryan should have been in that little special area.
Yeah, are we sure he wasn't? God, you think when Shawn met him, he was like, "Hi there, I'm Shawn. What's your name, little buddy?"
Bobby Jean.
Did you just say little buddy?
Little buddy.
You must have heard this before.
No, I didn't.
Oh, no way.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
I was hoping for sport.
He gets up there, up on the little stage with the tables set up and all that. We honestly were not that far behind in line. I was surprised too. We were like in the middle almost, and so it didn't take too long. We didn't have to wait too long, which was awesome. So Eli's in front of me. He gets up there. He, shakes Shawn's hand and everything, and autographed and pictures and all that. Well, and then what was cool was we had these two guys standing behind us, and Eli and myself were telling them like how big of a fanatic of Shawn Michaels I am, and just so after those guys and Eli had their turn, they actually waited off to the side just to see me meet my hero and my idol.
Because they probably thought you were going to come in your pants when it happened, and they wanted to see it.
Yeah,
cry.
I wonder who's going to play Cory in the story of his life. This is fucking fascinating.
I hope they leave the part in the movie where he finds out that Shawn's on a stage with tables.
Yeah, a rumor going around on Reddit is that Peter Jackson just bought the rights to this episode.
First time ever. So I get up there, and Shawn is he is the coolest, most down-to-earth dude ever. He's amazing. He shakes my hand first, and I said, I just want to say I've learned so much from you. And he chuckles a little bit and goes, well, I hope they were all good. So I was just, he signs my replica Intercontinental title. We get a picture together, and I just said, I kept saying thank you so much for everything, through the years, and being my hero and all that, my idol. And as I was walking off, I said it again. I said, thank you so much again for everything. And he said, no problem, buddy. And the whole time after that, I was just like, oh my God, he called me buddy.
Yeah. I had a lot of markdom for Shawn Michaels before, but now there's just no surrender. Yeah, I just wish he would have called him Slugger.
I love that he figured out that Shawn Michaels is down to earth from a handshake and a buddy.
Yeah. Because
chief.
You can always tell the real personality of a wrestler when they've got a whole queue of paying customers standing right behind you.
Yeah.
There's a reason that guys like John and Cory and Chris will never get to where they want to get in podcasting or wrestling or whatever it is. Because although, I have my times of being a mark, Hughezy's been a mark, Mike's been a mark, whatever. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but people are people. So the first time I got on the phone with Conan when he wanted to ask me about the show, and go, oh my God, dude, let me tell you, you're my fucking hero. I would do anything just to hang out with you for 10 minutes.
Have you been reading my emails to Conan?
What's that?
Nothing.
So these guys are incapable of acting like proper adults is what I'm saying. And I'm sure that John's impression on Dan Severn wasn't that great. And Vampiro sniffed it out of him right away. So there's a reason these guys will always be in the place that they're in. It's because that their insane markdom, it's blinded them. They don't even know that they're acting stupid. What do you think the worst? The wrestling fans, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Star Trek?
Fans. Always wrestling fans.
Wrestling fans.
So it was pretty special. And the reason I told that backstory was because I had a chance to meet him when I was 6, but I didn't do it. I passed it up. Well, who would have known 20 some years later I would have had the chance again. And what made it even more special was he had already retired at that point. So
what made it even more special is he behaved like a 6-year-old when he met him at 27.
That way I was able to thank him for everything. Thank you for the memories, and thank you for being just such a great part of my childhood. So that's the story on that. And the next segment I'm going to be doing next time, I'm going to be telling the story about Bret, the time I met Bret Hart. Almost the same thing. Almost kind of the same as when I met Shawn. But
wow, great. I can't wait, dude. You're going to tell the same story, but just take out Shawn's name and put Bret's name in there.
That would be hilarious if Wingerling actually kept the name or that entire file and just replaced the name every week and added in a new sound bed, a new
That'd be
too
great.
loud sound bed.
I want to tell the story about the time that I met Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, the Denver Broncos. But that's the thing about this fucking Wanglam podcast, that I know we keep saying it every time, but the fucking audio levels are unbelievable. Like, raise the voice, lower the music. Although I will say, I am kind of marking out a bit for the Rockers theme music. I haven't heard that in decades. But this is a boring story, badly recorded and horribly edited.
Little kind of a little funny part in that, which I'll get to on the next part when I get to do this next time. I want to thank Jonathan.
Jonathan,
what a dork,
Mr. Wangland.
Let me do this. Thank you, my friend. And with that said, I'm going to wrap this up here. Keep listening to Cheap Heat, Cheap Pops. Thank you.
Great stuff, Cory. Loved hearing about his meeting Shawn, what it meant to him. A lot of fun, Chris. Cory's a great dude, and he's going to be joining us for a show, and we're going to do a watch-along together, I think, next week sometime. So,
if you go back, I think he said his meaning Shawn.
His meaning Shawn. Welcome to the show, Cory.
That's a very fascinating story, actually, because, I mean, so many people, they have such a negative perspective, like with Shawn Michaels.
Can you pause a second? I've got this fascinating story. What do you call him again? R2D2 might like this. It's about this boy who faked having cancer, married Brian Knobs, boasted about it, worked in a supermarket that I don't know much about Walmart, but is it a low-paying supermarket?
Yeah.
Right? Then went on to never get a haircut, so now God's doing it for him. And hopefully he'll get a throat cut soon. I don't know about that. No, I mean like a shave is what I meant to say. A shave, a nice clean shave.
You're gonna get nasty sized.
Yeah, and now he's fucking on this totally straight guys podcast. They're so cool. They're raising the bar, and at no point are they humiliating themselves for the enjoyment of others accidentally.
A first-hand view, and it's very cool. So, I mean, that was a really good story to hear from Cory.
Yeah, Cory's an awesome guy, and welcome to the team, Cory. We're super happy to have you on board, and definitely welcome to Cory, and can't wait to hear more. Next week, he's going to talk about his experience meeting Shawn's biggest rival and another person that he looked up to, Bret Hart. And Cory's got some great opinions on wrestling and on the business, too. We've shot the shit a million times.
Did he say shot or pushed?
Got my shit pushed in, brother.
Just as a friend, he's got a great perspective, and it's cool to get Cory on the show. So welcome, and it's going to be fun hearing Cory's different perspectives on things and his experiences, and just overall, it's just awesome to have him on. So welcome to the team, Cory. We're proud to have you and honored to have you on board here. Welcome to the Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops podcast. It's going to be awesome stuff, man. Now, Chris, let's end the show tonight by looking at our top 5 women's wrestlers in the world in 2020 right now. So who we think are...
Yeah.
Cory said at the end of his thing, thanks, John, for letting me have a segment. Cory is proof that John will let anyone do anything on his podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's our first look into the brand new podcaster on the Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops Network, Cory Ryan. Welcome to fucking Cheap Heat, Cory. We're glad you're here. Dean, just give us some final thoughts, man.
What do you say? Like, it's the biggest Mark fucking story you're ever going to hear, and he can't speak. I don't know. What the fuck do you say? It's fucking brutal.
Yeah, and Wangland, you should be embarrassed for yourself. You cannot think that this shit is okay. You're a grown adult with kids, yet you're talking to adults with the same fucking intelligence level as kids. Like, you need to grow the fuck up there, man.
Say this, like I said, if he's only 29, he could get in shape in a year or less and go to a wrestling school. I'll push you one further. If you get in shape and want a wrestling tryout, I will provide it. I will sign you up at the Monster Factory and get you a wrestling tryout on me.
Yeah.
There you go. Now someone's encouraging you, little buddy.
As long as we can film it, we can film it. Joe will pay for it.
Yeah, you want to try? You want to be a wrestler? I'll get you a tryout. I'm not big time, and I'll have to fucking pay for it, but I will take you there, or I'll meet you there. I'm not going to take you.
Yeah, and if you're going to tell a story, make sure it actually has a point and an ending. Don't just describe getting a train with some cunt.
Yeah, meeting someone and shaking their hand is not a story.
All right. Well, next week we are definitely going to do his meeting with Bret Hart. Which it's kind of like this, but it varies off. It varies slightly. He pulls a Christopher Martin trick to meet Bret Hart. Dean, if you know what I'm talking about, if you've heard it.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about. It's a good one. It's a good one.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening or watching. If you're watching this, check out the audio version on the podcast feed. Joe, which feeds are we on now?
Oh,
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, all of them, basically. Apple,
Banana,
Play, Podcast Addict, Pod Chart. I think I just made that up. Pretty much everywhere. And if you don't see it, let me know. Because someone the other day was like, "Oh, why isn't it on Google Play?" And then I went to add it, and it's already there. So stop fucking with me. You don't have a bad memory.
It's an important lesson for us all because we all get caught up in the grind of life. And you know what? We all get caught up in stupidity in life sometimes. We're all guilty of it at some point. You know, people rub us the wrong way. People agitate us. People get our go. People do things that, you know, just upset us and anger us. It's so trivial and bullshit in life. And this is an important moment. I mean, I know you've seen it in many things, and so have I. And we've all been guilty of stupidity in life. And life is such a precious gift that we all get. And it's such a precious thing. And you know what? At the end of the day, we're all people. We're all human beings, and live each day to to your best, and try to be the best people we can be. We all fall short of it sometimes, myself included. I fall short many times, and it's an important lesson for us all to realize in life that we just need to be the best we can. And stupidity and stupid things in life, and things that are getting to us in life, or things that bother us, let's put it into perspective that is it really that important all the time?
Right.
Let's just do the best we can to love each other. 2020 is leaving right now. It's been a tough year for people. It sucked. We've lost people we've loved. We battled through illnesses. We battled through our own demons and our own things in our lives, whatever it might be for each and every one of us. Let's go into 2021 with a better outlook, and let's all try to be better people and be better to one another. And that's how we're going to make 2021 a better year, and 2022 and 2023 and all the other years that will hopefully follow us for many to come. So
what the fuck is he talking about? what like Sarah, bro, I did not get any of that. Did you?